Hey you guys, so today for Reading Workshop, we are going to build on what we learned yesterday. If you recall from yesterday, we learned we questioned why characters act the way they do. And we were looking at specific things that characters do in a story, and then we were developing a theory or a big idea about the character based on the things that they do. Well, today we're building on that same thing because flexibility does matter in reading because you are expected to revise your idea about a character, or in this matter, what your theory is. It's okay to change your theory because you should. And that's what we're going to learn today in Reading Workshop. So that brings us to today's teaching point, and that readers sometimes need to revise our theories as we read on. It's really important to notice the things that a character is doing while you're reading and to develop a theory on why that character is doing what they're doing. But as you read on, you should start forming more evidence and gathering more evidence on the things that the character does, and then looking back at your theory and saying, yeah, I was right about this character, or whoops, I was wrong about the character, and now I need to kind of change my theory about the character. That is what today is going to be all about. And to understand that it's okay to be wrong when you're reading, but if you are wrong, to notice that you're wrong, and then to make changes along the way. So to understand this better, let's go back to one of my favorite picture books that I use many times, Edward the Emu. Look at him. He's so cute. Okay, so in the beginning of the story, what did we know about Edward? Well, we knew that Edward was not happy in the zoo, right? It said that in the very beginning. I know when I read on that Edward was always trying to be something else, something that he thought people really liked. So he went on and he was trying to be a seal, and he was trying to be a lion. And, he was, I think the one where he's laying in the tree is kind of funny as a lion. He wanted to be a snake. And what we initially thought about Edward in the story was that Edward was really insecure with himself. And we know this because insecure people often change who they are. They want to be someone else. But as I read on in the story, and I came to that turning point in the story, it turned out that Edward just really didn't pay attention to what people were excited about. He never really paid attention to all the people that were coming to see him. And he never really understood that, yeah, the emu is exciting. And in the end of the story, he changed. He realized it because he overheard someone talking about it. And then he ran back to be an emu. So my theory about Edward changed from the beginning of the story to the end. In the beginning, I thought he was just this insecure bird that wanting to be someone else, and he was just cranking his surroundings and he didn't really care. But then it turned out that he just wasn't really paying attention to details, and that people really did like him. And he realized it and then returned to being who he is, which is an emu. You guys are going to do the same thing in your stories. You're going to pay attention to a character, and you're going to develop a theory about that character, looking at the things that they do and trying to figure out why are they doing the things that they do, and developing a theory like I did for Edward. And then as you read on, understanding it's okay to be wrong, but knowing that you're wrong and making changes to your theory because your theory is wrong, and then finding other evidence to make sure your theory is correct, that's what you need to do. You're revising your theory whenever you realize you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong, just always revise it. So you guys, your task for today, hey, I'm down here towards the bottom. Your task for today is going to be pretty simple. But I want to start off by telling you this, that it's important to understand that theories, like predictions, are just a rough draft idea. That means that they can be changed. And as we read on, we sometimes have to pause to say, that doesn't seem quite right. My theory is just not right about the character. Then we revise our thinking. We come up with a new theory based on new information. Other times we find out that our theory is accurate, and we may find more information to support it. So based on that, here's what your task is for today. On your Post-it note, I want you to write down the theory you came up with in yesterday's lesson. Yesterday's lesson, you're using the theory. Then while you're reading today, you're going to find new information that will either change your thinking to where you're going to revise your theory, or you're going to find information that's going to support and prove that you're correct. So yes, you need to include the new information, either what changed your theory or what supports it, on your Post-it note. And then of course, if your theory changes, make sure you revise that theory. That's all going to be due to me today by the end of reading workshop. Good luck.